Yo, 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 welcome back to another episode of On the Spot Sports. And before we get to our guest today, we have a big shout out for Living Sisu. Living Sisu is a platform and app that wants to give you all the tools to have success in your sport. Their main objective is to activate your lifestyle. So it's for active people. Enjoy discounts at companies like BioSteel, 30% off, Body Logics, the Goalie Guild, all his books are discounted. Roan, Lululemon for men, 20% off. Online stretching programs with Eccentrics, 1 full month free. They got super silent massage guns, 20% off those. And it's a great quality. It's way less expensive than a Theragun, and it's great quality. So there's so many more discounts that you guys will need to just become a member to see. So they want to provide you with anything you need for success. So come join the community. I'm a part of it. A bunch of other athletes are a part of it. So it's free to join. It takes 20 seconds to get exclusive offers to your sport, and it's definitely worth it. So do us a huge favor and go sign up for Living Sisu's membership. It's free, 20 takes 20 seconds. So go do it, and we'll see you there. Living Sisu is a great company. We know one of the co-founders, Zach Fricali. He's a great guy. He's the co-founder. He does a lot of live streams on Instagram at Living Sisu, with a bunch of elite athletes, and you learn a lot from like the athletes' determination, their resiliency, everything to what made them become successful. So it's been a great experience so far. So go on. I'm gonna leave the link in the description. So go sign up.
Yo, welcome back to another episode of On the Spot Sports. I'm Jack, and in today's episode, we're joined by a very special guest, current college goaltender Mareks Mitens. Mitzy currently plays for Lake Superior State University. This is his fourth season playing for Lake Superior State, and before he started his college career, he spent some time in the Null with the Aston Rebels, and he also played in his home country of Latvia. So welcome to the show, Mareks Mitens.
Hey, thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, no problems. Like, how have you been? Like, I know we're in these crazy times, and we were just talking earlier. So, like, how have you been?
I've been doing pretty good. Like right now we're in quarantine, which kind of sucks, but it's not too bad. Get some
Yeah.
homework done, get some gaming in. Have
Oh,
a little more time
always
to
gaming.
oh yeah. Have a little more time to talk to my friends and family from back home now.
Yeah, that's at least good. What's the time difference from
Uh,
Lake Superior State to Latvia?
it's 7 hours. So usually when I had like in the morning I have school and classes when I get out of practice. Everyone's sleeping back home, so it's a little bit harder to talk with my family or friends.
Yeah, for sure. So, to get this thing started with, can you give our viewers like a little background information on yourself, like when you started playing hockey, why you started, and why you became a goalie?
I think I'm from Ventspils, Latvia. It's a small country in northeast Europe. Uh, started playing, I think, when I was 5 or 6, somewhere like pretty early, and I was only like a forward for a short time, like I would say 1 or 2 months. I just always wanted to be a goalie, and hockey's pretty big in Latvia. And it's definitely a number one sport growing up, and I I always wanted to be a goalie, and my parents tried to talk me out at first, and then they said like, right, if you decide, then you have to do it. Like you can't like switch back. And I remember a couple of years in being a goalie, like 8, 9, you see your forwards scoring goals, celebrating. It looked a little more fun, and then they didn't let me go back. So just got stuck being a goalie. But no, I really like it. It was my choice. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, for sure. And just goalie brought you in, but it is fun scoring, like seeing like all your buddies like Selly hard when they score. But
Yeah.
hey,
Especially when
you
you're
get to do
younger.
it.
Like now
Yeah,
that you're like older, you're really it's not that big of a deal. But when you're younger, when you're 8, 9, 10 years old, you just want to have like some fun.
yeah, exactly. You just gotta score a goalie goal, and then you can Selly like
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you grew up playing hockey in Latvia, like you said. So, like, what was it like growing up playing there, and like, what are the biggest differences that you've seen from like youth hockey there and juniors over there compared to like what you could see here in the
I would
states?
say like Latvia obviously is a pretty small country. Hockey is like a big sport, but even though I think we have like maybe 20, 21 rinks in the whole country, where there's probably like 20 rinks, like 15 minutes around Sault Ste. Marie or something. So Yeah, I guess like the biggest difference is like just how many like the players are there. We like play against like 8, 9 teams, and that would be it. Like for here, as much as I don't know much about like youth hockey here either, but as much as you can see, there's way more teams, way more hockey players here.
Yeah, for sure. So you played in a youth organization called Venta 2002, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
So
my. All right.
no, you go.
All right, that's my hometown team. So that was we only had like one ice rink in my hometown. That was the only club there. So I started playing there when I was like, 6, I think, and played all the way up to like when I was 16.
Yeah. So like, what was it like playing with that organization all the way up to like when like you said 16? That made you like enjoy the game and enjoy being a hockey player.
I really enjoyed the whole organization. It was really like it's a small town too, so you kind of know everyone, and just the organization's really good. They all like always had good coaches. The coaches cared about us, like the players had like good players too. I'm still friends with like, and I talk with them like almost every day. But I think just like coaches and like that them caring about the players and want to see them develop and doing everything they can.
Yeah, that's the main thing is just developing talent and developing hockey players for sure. So like
Yeah,
as a goaltender, it's like obviously it's very important to get your reps and like off ice training, on ice training, and like getting tons of games. So you got a ton of games in your youth hockey and to juniors and college days. So like how important is it for you to see a lot of reps and see shots to develop as a goaltender?
I think it's the most important thing as you're growing up. Like maybe now that you get a little older, it's fine if you have to back up. You can learn a lot from other goals, but when you're
Yeah.
younger, you just want to keep playing. Like I think that's the biggest thing. A lot of people want a lot of goalies want to play for like the best teams, and I don't. I don't think that's the move. Where I played, we were not really the best team. I got like a lot of shots every game. I think that's one of the biggest reasons why I am where I am right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And just like I haven't played on that great of teams like in the past, but like it really does help you develop and like helps your mindset a lot too because you're getting peppered with shots and then you have to find ways to win and just play out of your mind, play like as good as you can and help your team get the win.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so then in 2014-15, you played for HK Riga in the MHL, where you played 19 games, went 8-4-3. Like, what was your experience playing for HK Riga, and what helped you become so successful throughout that stretch?
It was a Russian junior league. So when I joined like the team, I was the youngest guy on the team. Everyone was like a 94 birth year. I'm a 98. So we had 4 goalies too. Like, so the oldest one was like 94, 95, 96, and I was a 98. So I got a lot to learn from those guys. So that helped me a lot. And just even being around like older guys, it's really like I got thrown in from like the youth hockey playing like under 16, under 18, right into like a pretty serious league with like a lot older guys. I guess it's just like experience that like I learned the most from the other guys, watching the other goalies and other players working.
Yeah, for sure. So, like, what was some of the things that you took away from that experience, and just like learning and like from the experience of the other goalies, and just because you can learn from like any goalie that you watch or listen or talk to, and just it's amazing how you can do that.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, I think you can really learn from every goalie, either in your team or even the opposing team. Like, it's always like you can watch and see the small details. But from there, I think like the biggest jump was like the level of hockey there. So I think just like seeing how other goalies prepare and like and how serious they take and like it's like not hard maybe to play one game good, but you need to stack them up and play like consistently good. And I guess like consistency and just like watching the other goalies how they prepare and like all that stuff.
Yeah, so consistency is also another very important part to being a successful goaltender. It's like what would you do to help yourself stay consistent? Would you like stay with the same routine every game day, every practice? Like what would you do?
Yeah, I guess I have my own routine, but I think it's more mental because right now at this level, everyone can play hockey and you're here for a reason. I guess it's the biggest difference is like mental game, I would say, which is like you just have to like sometimes it's easy to lose focus or like even for a second. Like it's like one of the biggest things I've been working on lately is just staying focused no matter what throughout the game.
Yeah, because one mistake, one like like just not even paying attention, like the puck's behind you. So like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
always got to stay ready. It's like, what would you do to help yourself stay focused during games, especially when it gets tough and like you might not be playing that great, or you're getting all the bad bounces against you. It's like, what would you do to help yourself stay mentally prepared and focused?
So just focus on the things I can control. Like you said, there's games where you get like unlucky bounces or like things are not going your way and like it sucks, but like you can't like get them to your mind, like to your head. Just try to like stick to your fundamentals and like just focus on things I can control.
Yeah, that's a great point there. So like going back to the successful goaltending, so like what are some of the things that you preach on when trying to either teach other goalies or just find ways to make yourself better, like training wise, mindset, confidence, all of that?
Oh, that's a good question. I would say it's hard to pick out just one thing. It's multiple things stacked up on each other, but it's like I said, I think the mind is the biggest part of the game right now because you go in like you need to have like you have a good week of practice and like you go in a game like it's just another game. You don't want to like overreact or like like burn yourself out before the game even starts. So you just like go out, focus on the things you can control, trust yourself, trust your fundamentals, and like you're there for a reason. There shouldn't be like
Yeah,
there's not a reason to be worried about something right now.
yeah, exactly. And just the game's starting to get super like more skilled and more faster each and every year. So like your mindset has to be there, as long as with like obviously training and all that. But like mindset's definitely one of the most important parts that I've heard. Is just you have to be ready at all times.
Yeah, you've done all your training before going into the game, and the game is just like your mind.
Yeah, exactly. So then throughout your career so far, you've played in some international competition games like the World Junior Championships, U18, U20. It's like where you got some really valuable experience from that, playing against different countries around the world. It's like, what was your experience like playing in the international tournaments like the World Juniors and playing some good teams?
Oh, it's always great experience. Most of the time, we played like in top division, almost I think almost every year when I was there, and so say we're mostly going in as an underdog, but it's just like it takes pressure away from us because like nothing really happens if we lose. It's not, but like when we played under 18s in Grand Forks, North Dakota, we almost beat Sweden. So you're trying to pull off these upsets, but then at the end, like my roommate right now is from Germany, and I played him in under 18s relegation rounds. So, and we beat him. So that's pretty fun right now. Still joke around about sometimes, but yeah,
Yeah,
the experience is that's a
yeah,
great experience, especially World Juniors. You see all these players now in NHL, and like the level of the play there was ridiculous. So it's just
yeah.
something you gotta enjoy when you're there, and try not think about other things too much.
Absolutely, and you have that get on for your roommate. You have that on him, so
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. So, like, what have been like some of your best memories playing for World Juniors under 18, under 20, and all those memories that you've made throughout that time?
I'd say the first one's probably under 18 when we beat like my roommate. I didn't know him then at the time, of course, but like for that was like our first real win. As like for me as like under 18, like for national team, we stayed in the top division, which made me like I played with a year older group the first time, so we made sure that we're coming back next year too. So I had like chance to play there back to back. So that was great, and of course, World Juniors, the whole tournament there, the whole atmosphere. It was in Toronto and Montreal. That was pretty cool thing.
Yeah, for sure. That seems pretty sick. So, like, how sick was it to rep your country of Latvia on the crest of your jersey and just be there doing it for your country and just having a fun time while doing it?
Yeah, you just enjoy the moment. Then like didn't turn out a really good tournament for us. Like we played some tough teams in the round robin. I think we played U.S., Canada, and Russia, and then Finland for relegation. We still did pretty good against Finland, but it is what it is. But like I enjoyed the experience. And that's just yeah,
Yeah.
it was a great tournament, great atmosphere.
Yeah, for sure. So like throughout that time, like what were some of the biggest things you learned playing against these teams that you need to work on to become the best goaltender you can be?
Ah, that's another tough one question because it's been a while now. I think like 4 years, 5 years now.
Yeah.
But still, like yeah, you get to watch. Like I remember we played Carter Hart, so that's like one of the goalies right now in NHL, probably going to be one of the best goalies soon in the world. And like you get to see them, and like you see that you're not that far away from them, but like it's the small things that matter there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So then in 2016-17, you went on to play a year in the NOL, in the North American Hockey League, with the Aston Rebels, where you played 41 games plus 10 playoff games with a 1.63 goals against average. So, like, what was it like playing hockey in Aston and that transition from internationals as juniors to playing the North American League?
I had a pretty good start with that, like pretty good season. We lost in the finals where we played like 3 games in the semifinals and then like 4 games in 4 days. So I think we just ran out of gas there. But like we had a good season, good team. I had a really good start, which helped me a lot, I think, to like build my career in US afterwards. But yeah, like I guess like I felt pretty confident in myself. It's coming from like Russian junior league. I know the level there is high, so it wasn't bad. But like we just had a really good team and like a good start. I think I had like 9 shutouts before Christmas break, and the second half was a little bit harder. It's my first year away from home. I was getting like a little homesick, so that was a little bit harder. Didn't have a chance to go home at all over Christmas break, so the second half was a little bit harder, like mentally, and which like affected my game too on the ice.
Yeah, it's like, what do you think like helped you be so well during that first half before like everything started going south a little bit? Like, what? And you said you had like like a bunch of shutouts before Christmas breaks. Like, what was that like, and just playing at that level?
Well, I was working pretty hard over the summer, so I knew I'm gonna come over to US, and I knew like no one really knows me here, so I knew I had to like show what I am and like just build a case for myself. And was first with Tri-City Storm in USHL for a month, and then I went to to Aston Rebels, and I got a chance to play right away, and I was just didn't think about much. No one knew me here, so I was just playing my game, focusing on myself, and
Yeah, exactly. You just got to take all the opportunities you can get and just roll with them.
yeah, and we had a really good team, which of course helped too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's like you played in 10 playoff games that year. So, like, how much fun was playing playoff hockey during that time and just like playoffs in general? Because it's a whole another ball game after the regular season.
Oh yeah, it was a great time too. It was a really long season for me. As I like said, it was the same year we played in World Juniors, so I didn't really get any breaks. And at the end, I felt after the season I'm like completely gassed out. I needed a break, but the players are great. And like in our conference playoffs, you still play the same teams, but it's always competitive. But when we went to like the final four, Frozen Four, whatever, we get to play, I think, Aberdeen, and like semifinals. We played the 3 games, and 2 of them went in like a 19-minute overtime. And then like in the final, we lost to Lone Star. I think it was 2-0 or something, but I think we just ran out of gas. I think we were a better team there. They got like 2 games in the semifinals, but it is what it is. They won. They got it. It sucks that we didn't, but
Yeah.
can't do much now.
Yeah,
I enjoyed the finals especially.
Yeah. What was that finals experience like? Because like you get to the finals and it's like you're almost there. You just gotta push through, and just like you still learn stuff throughout that time, even when you're losing. So like, what was that finals games like?
Like I said, it looked like we really ran out of the gas. Like, 'cause I think first period was still 0-0, if I remember correctly. And like after that, you could see our guys like we're getting a little more tired than we were. And like the 2, I think it was 2-0, and like the goals were not like nothing crazy. It was not like they outplayed us or anything. They did score some goals, and that was it. We couldn't get any in. And
Yeah, for sure. It is what it is. You just got to go with it and go
yeah,
and learn from it. So it's all that you can do there. So like throughout like the 2 years you played in juniors, you played in a ton of games. Like how important was recovery for you? And like what would you do to help yourself stay recovered and be ready to play on a consistent basis and be consistent for your team?
I just gotta say, take care of my body. Like I've like this is every goal. You have like some hip and like groin problems from time to time, and as long as I take care of those things, like just do some mobility and like some deep muscle exercises, stretching, I feel fine. Like, and there's not a lot. When I played in all, like I said, at first I was getting like homesick, like in the second half. So that was the toughest part. But if it's just like when you go to the rink, you enjoy the time. You know, you're doing what you love, so it's not really like a job. It's just something you enjoy doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And you just gotta have fun with playing. Like all our careers aren't gonna last forever. You just gotta have fun with it and just enjoy the process and the
Yeah,
grind that it comes with.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so after your season and all, you committed to Lake Superior State University. So like what was the process like for you to sign a Division 1 to like commit to a Division 1 team and like how do you know that was like Lake Superior State was a good fit for you?
I didn't know much about college. I had like my hockey advisor. So when I came to US, I didn't. It wasn't like one of my goals come play college. Like I didn't know much about it, like about college hockey at all. When like I started playing, like and you got a little attention there. So the biggest thing was like just look place where I can play right away. I didn't want to go to like a big school and sit for like 2 years and then
Yeah.
maybe get like start playing the third year. I wanted to play. I think that was the most important part, and that was it. It was a little bit tough process as I was doing high school back home and transferring all the transcripts and everything. That took a while. That was a little bit, yeah,
Yeah, that must have been hard for
yeah,
sure.
that was.
Yeah, so during your first year at LSSU, you played 19 games, went 3-10-2. So like what did you have to learn about the college hockey game that you may have not have known before and when you guys were struggling a bit and like before building up the program even more?
I guess like first year was a pretty tough year for us. Things changed here after that year, but I think again it was like the level of play was like way different. It's another jump you need to make, and maybe as I had like a really good season and all, I was not really ready for that. I thought I can't say I wasn't ready for playing college hockey. I just thought it might be a little bit easier to transfer from the one level to another to jump into. I was wrong there, but like after that, I felt it was pretty good. I got 19 games in the first year, so I got a pretty good taste what the college hockey is and what I need to do like to adjust and be successful here too.
Yeah, so like what was that transition like from juniors in the NAL to college? Like I know you said it was a lot more difficult. So like what was that like and just like being going into games and just trying to hold yourself accountable for everything?
I guess it was the biggest thing was like already the age and juniors you play. The oldest guys are 20, where college, basically the youngest guys are like 20. Especially WCHA, you play against 24-year, 25-year-olds. So that's big. Speed and everything was like way faster. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So like what do you have to work on since the game was a lot faster and more skilled? It's like what did you have to work on in the off season to help yourself get better going into that second year?
So I had to like slow down my game a little bit. The players were, like you said, more skilled, a little bit smarter. And like in juniors, you get away with the things, just like your explosiveness. Now you can like get beat with. You just need a little experience there too, like knowing that like the players on the other end are a little bit better, a little more skilled, a little faster. So you gotta be ready for more things. It's not just like a not like not not everything's gonna be like as it seems like.
Yeah, for sure. So then going into your junior year, you played in 39 games, which you played in a lot of games since that first year, and you had a 2.57 goals against average. So like, what helped you settle in to get more playing time and be the guy throughout the previous 2 years where you didn't get as much playing time?
I learned a lot from my starter during the first 2 years. Nick Kosov, he was a good goalie. Like I said, like I could just watch him and like see the things he does. And he was like pretty consistent every game in and out, especially like my sophomore year. So that was like the biggest things I took away from him. And once I started playing like my junior year, once you start get the games going, although I had a pretty tough start we had as a team and for myself too, like I knew like I can play at this level, and it's just gonna like we had a tough start, but I know I can play here. So once I get stuck into some better games together, like I was just really focusing about myself and on my game and just ways to help my team.
Yeah, exactly. And being able to just play your game, like you said, and just control what you can control, and you just
Yeah,
got to go with what goes from there, and just be consistent, be the best goaltender you can be.
yeah, exactly.
So then last season, like COVID came into play, obviously in March. Like, did it affect you guys at all, or like what happened to the events leading up to it?
No, I think we were probably one of the last teams to play college hockey game that year. We lost to Bemidji in the third game in playoffs. And I think the next weekend everything was canceled. So I guess it uh, didn't affect us at all. But
That's at least good. That didn't affect your season, but
yeah,
like everything went down from that. So
yeah,
it was pretty brutal. But safety's priority there.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so this season's a bit different for everyone, but fortunately, you guys are still able to have a season where you've played 12 games already, where you're 4-3-3 with a 1.92 goals against average. It's like, how's this season going for you?
Uh, we started a really good season. We got here pretty early, the whole team. I think it was like early August. So the whole team's been hanging around out together for a while, and we've been practicing and skating. And I thought we we're pretty good shape, and we have a really good team. And I think we can do big things this year. So we had a good start. We have like 3 ties, but we won all 3 games in the shootout there. So our team confidence is pretty good right now. We played Mankato was a tough one, WCHA opener, but it sucks that there's no points right now for us in WCHA standings. But I think we can do big things this year.
Yeah, for sure. Good luck for this season. Just like you guys are gonna do big things, like you said. So just keep grinding it out. It's like, do you guys have any like restrictions that you guys have to abide by during this time, and because you're still able to play like maybe mass like in the arena, like on like when you're practicing any of that?
Yeah, there's a lot of restrictions, but like it's for everyone now. Like we have to do like temperature checks every day. We can't really hang out with like I think more than 2 households together. So that all sucks because it's pretty hard to get your team together, which is so important to building
Yeah,
like team chemistry. So it's the toughest part I think about this year. It's like getting your team together like that. Just especially for me, like a senior, you kind of know it's my last year here, so I would just spend the time with the boys most of the time, and you can't really get to do that.
yeah, exactly. So like this year, like you've played 12 games so far. So like, what has been like your favorite game or favorite games that you've played this year so far?
Uh, uh, all games are pretty good. I guess our first weekend against Tech was pretty good. We got to sweep them. The first game was a shutout, like we won the shootout 1-0. That was good. I enjoy playing against all of our opponents. You forget they're all different opponents, and you still some games you get more action, some you don't. But there's things you can take away every game, and I just like haven't played in so long that now all you want to do is just play hockey. So
Yeah, for sure. That's a great mindset to have, and you just want to play. Like
yeah,
you're passionate about the sport, passionate about the position. You just want to keep playing as long as you can, whenever you can.
exactly.
Yeah. So like over the summer this year, to help yourself get get better in the summer and in the fall, like when you guys still didn't have a season, like what did you do over the summer and fall to help you prepare for the season and get on the right track right away?
I had a little tough summer. I was in the hospital for like more than a week. I think like 9, 10 days. I had pneumonia, which that was a pretty tough one. And after I lost like half the summer because of that. But after that, I was just focusing getting back myself into shape. And then like, because when we all got back here in August, we were not sure if the games are going to start in time or no. So I was not really worried about like being 100% ready in October because we knew that most likely the games are not going to start in October. So I was not really rushing. I was taking my time to get myself ready in all aspects. And I guess a lot of mental game again over the summer, especially after getting out of the hospital. It was a little tough.
Yeah, for sure. And it's just you just got to do whatever you can to get ready, and just like especially during this off season, like it's a long off season. Like it's like, what was that long off season like? Like I know you said you worked on mindset a lot. It's like, how important was this off season for you? And just besides like the pneumonia part, and just trying to get your game where you want it to be.
Yeah, it was. As I played like a lot of games last year. I was not really in a rush to get back to a hockey because your mind needs a break from that too.
Yeah,
But then like as July was like coming, you started like itching. You want to get on ice, and like the ice rinks are closed here. So I was doing like working out and just like watching some NHL goalies and stuff like that from old like the last years, and just trying to learn and like new things and see new what can I do the best that's gonna work for me.
Yeah, that's a great mindset to have. It's like being like calm, cool, and collective is also a big key of being a successful goaltender. And I remember training with you over winter break with my buddy Stefan, and it was evident that you possess those keys to be successful. So, like, how important is being cool, calm, and collective for your game to help you perform at the best level you can?
I think it's really important, not only for me, but I think for my team too. When you look back at your goal, you want him to be like confident. You don't want to see him freaking out after every goal
Yeah,
or like breaking sticks. So I try to show my team that everything's fine back here. Just focus on the things ahead of you. And so I think that's really important. But like I said, when I came here to college, I had to slow down my game a little bit. I think that helps a lot too. Yes, you gotta realize that you have way more time than you actually think, and that helps a lot.
yeah,
But
absolutely. Yeah, go ahead.
you don't need to rush anything. Like,
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. I remember when we trained with you that one day over the winter, like Steph and I were like going for an easier day, and then we can't because like we were working like that whole week,
yeah,
and then you came in and we're like you just got thrown in, but like we enjoyed it. We like enjoyed talking to you and everything, just like working with you. So that was a lot of fun. Just like we both learned a lot from that day as well.
hmm,
So it
yeah.
was really nice to meet you there and just get
Thanks,
to
yeah.
work with you.
No, yeah, that was great. I saw Steph had like all the Michigan Tech pads and stuff, and I was like,
Yeah.
I don't think. I started thinking if I know this guy or no right now.
Yeah, he got it from a buddy and that goes to Michigan Tech, so that's
Yeah, yeah.
that's where he got that from. So I have a few more questions for you, Mitzy, before we get this thing done with. So do you have any tips for goalies looking to get to that next level?
I'd say just enjoy the game and have fun. Like this year, these last 2 years, like I've been really like trying to enjoy my game more and have like a little more fun in the games, but still like be calm, collected, as you said. And I think it makes game a little more fun. You don't like really stress about things because I remember like in my first couple of years, you like get a win and like you're happy at the end, but like the whole game you're kind of stressed, you kind of like worried. Where now I'm kind of more relaxed during the games and like just trying to have some fun.
Yeah, that's a great tip, and like just staying relaxed. Like it definitely does help. Like I used to be like stressed like during the games and just like I can't give up a goal, I can't give up a goal, and then
Yeah,
obviously you're gonna give up a goal if you think like that. So like being relaxed and like just saying like because like I know I put in the work and everything. Like you just gotta trust yourself and trust what you've been doing, and it definitely does help you stay relaxed.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So my next question is what like college hockey's uh obviously like one of the top things for fan sections. It's like what have been like some of the chants that you've heard, like whether it be towards you or like ones you have heard that you're like that you just laugh and you just think like it's just so funny to you.
I don't know, but there's a lot, like you said, in college, especially like the student sections, and most of the places are pretty fun. I remember like me and my roommate Max Humans from like 2 years ago on like junior year. Uh, we had like this tradition or whatever you would call routine to eat like a pack of Oreos before the like on Thursday night. So I think when we went to University of Michigan, like they had some stuff about the Oreos. It's just pretty funny. But no, yeah, there's a couple of good ones. There's a couple of good ones. Ferris always Tech is just a really loud place to play at. But Ferris State and like Bowling Green, those two usually have something going on during the warm ups, especially and during the game.
Yeah, the fan sections are fun to hear, and it's hilarious what some of these people come up with.
Oh yeah, like that. It's really fun. Like especially my sophomore year, where maybe didn't get enough like that many games in, and I could like actually try and see them doing the games what they're doing. It's like I gotta give them some credit too. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, absolutely. So my final question for you is, you've been invited to some development camps with the Chicago Blackhawks and the New York Islanders. It's like, what was your experience like with these dev camps and learning from the pros?
It was a really good experience. Of course, like Islanders was like it was right after Genius, so I was a little more nervous there and like didn't really know what to expect and what I need to do and stuff like that. So I enjoyed it, but maybe not as much as I should have. Where in Chicago was the camp was really professional. I kind of knew what I'm now. There's my second one. I kind of knew what to expect, what I need to do, and say I've really enjoyed Chicago's camp. So yeah.
Yeah, and for sure, and like from these development camps, you learn a lot. So like, what were some of the things that you learned from the pros that you took on back to your game in college?
A lot of things, but the first, like you come out of college, like you see that like in the camps, there's like every player is like working hard. You know that like everyone's doing their best, like whatever they can to get there. So you know, it's gonna be the small things that's gonna make the difference at the end. And I think like the mental game as well. So I would say those are the two biggest things that you really need to start focusing on, like the small things, small details that like those things are gonna set you apart from the others, as well as the mind game.
Yeah, that's a great thing that you learned there. So, Mitzy, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate your time. I want to wish you the best of luck going forward with the season, and hopefully you'll be back in Chicago sometime soon to train.
Yeah, perfect. Sounds good. Thank you very much for having me on. I really
Yeah,
enjoyed this.
yeah, no problem. It was fun.
Yeah.